What would you do with your first $1,000? Upgrade your phone, put money toward a car, take a trip, or try to turn $1,000 into $2,000 as fast as possible? A lot of young people ask that question. But your first $1,000 does more than test your investing ability. It tests how you think about and treat money. How you use $1,000 today may be repeated when you have $10,000 or $100,000. The amount changes, but your habits rarely change on their own. Some people earn $1,000 and spend it all. Later, they earn $5,000 and borrow to live like they make $7,000. The problem was never only income. This video will not tell you which stock to buy or where to put your money for a quick return. Instead, we're going to talk about something far more important: the foundation. How can $1,000 become the first brick in a stable financial life? It won't transform your life overnight, but it can change your direction. Sometimes choosing the right direction matters more than moving fast. So the first thing to do with your $1,000 is to avoid making an immediate purchase or decision. When you hold your first meaningful amount of money, emotion usually moves faster than logic. Your phone suddenly feels old, and perfectly good shoes stop looking good. Your room suddenly seems to need a new desk, chair, lamp, and decor. Your needs did not change. Your bank balance did. Money can make us feel entitled to a reward. You deserve to enjoy life. But rewarding yourself does not mean spending everything you just saved. Do not buy, invest, or show it off right away. Ask yourself, if my income disappeared next month, would this money help me stay calm? Is there debt pulling money from you every month? Could part of this money improve your future earning power? Those questions bring you back to reality. Money is not only for buying more things. It can also reduce the pressure in your life. Without a cushion, you may feel trapped in the wrong job. You may have to borrow during an emergency, accept unfair terms, or live in constant worry. Even a small emergency fund gives you more choices. The first level of financial freedom is having more choices, not retiring at 30, buying a luxury car, or lying on a beach while money rolls in. At the beginning, financial freedom simply means not panicking when something unexpected happens. That is why your first $1,000 should create a safety cushion. Imagine a new worker earning about $1,000 a month and spending nearly all of it on essentials. One day, the car breaks down and needs a $200 repair. Without savings, a $200 repair can become a crisis. Borrowing from friends, taking a paycheck advance, using a credit card, or delaying another bill. With a $1,000 emergency fund, the repair is still annoying, but it is no longer a disaster. The difference is your ability to absorb a financial shock. A strong foundation does not prevent every problem. It keeps one small problem from wrecking your entire life. Money sitting still is not always wasted. Money should eventually grow, but first, it should protect you. An emergency fund may not feel exciting, yet it can keep you away from expensive debt. It can also keep you from selling assets or making rushed decisions when cash is tight. Sometimes the return is better sleep and a calmer mind. More importantly, you can say, I need time to think. If you have no emergency fund, treat your first $1,000 as the beginning of that cushion. Then keep building the fund around your living costs and responsibilities. Someone living with family needs a different cushion from a renter, parent, or caregiver. There is no perfect number for everyone. The more responsibility you carry, the stronger your cushion should be. Next, look closely at any debt you already have. Some debt is especially expensive. Consumer loans, buy now, pay later plans, late balances, or simply living beyond your means. It is like pouring money into a leaking bucket. In that situation, earning a small return matters less than plugging the leak. Imagine someone who still owes $800 on a phone installment plan. Every month, they pay principal and fees. Then they receive $1,000 and invest it in an opportunity advertised as too good to miss. They hope the profits will pay off the debt. But this can turn one manageable problem into two. The debt remains, and the investment can fall. More pressure usually leads to worse decisions. The lesson is simple. Do not use investing to escape basic financial problems. Before asking how money can make more money, check whether your cash flow is leaking. Many people earn a decent income, but cannot keep what remains. Late fees, loan interest, emotional purchases, and forgotten subscriptions consume the surplus. You work harder, yet your finances barely move. Your first $1,000 is a chance to stop, List every payment, understand exactly what you owe, and prevent the debt from growing. Sometimes the strongest move is not earning more, but stopping unnecessary losses. After savings and debt, think about your ability to earn. When we hear investing, we usually picture charts, prices, and returns. But for a young person, the greatest asset may not be inside an account. That asset is your knowledge, health, skills, and ability to solve problems. A 10% return on $1,000 adds only $100 once. But if part of the money helps you earn an extra $100 each month, the value can last for years. Of course, buying a course does not guarantee results. Many people buy courses to feel as if they are progressing, then quit halfway. That only buys reassurance. Investing in yourself must include practice. Skills must be used, knowledge must be tested, and results must be measured in real ability: communication, sales, writing, languages, or data. You might study a professional skill or buy a tool you truly need for work. The key question is, will it help me create more value? A young office worker named Ethan earns a modest income. After nearly a year, he saves $1,000 and considers replacing his phone. But the old one still works, so he waits. Ethan keeps part of the money as an emergency fund and uses part to learn video editing. Each evening, he practices on old footage, then takes small weekend jobs. The first project pays little, and the next one needs many revisions. But after 6 months, Ethan has a real skill. A year later, he has income beyond his salary. The $1,000 did not make Ethan rich overnight, but it made him more valuable in the job market. That is the power of using money in the right direction. Sometimes the best use of money is one that helps you create more value. But do not use the phrase invest in yourself to justify every purchase. A new computer or phone can be a useful tool, or it can simply make you feel professional and help you keep up with friends. Courses can work the same way. Before spending, ask 3 questions. What will I use this for? When will I practice? What specific result do I want? If you cannot answer, you may not need it yet. The 4th step is building a money management system, because saving $1,000 once proves very little. The money may have come from a bonus, luck, or living with family. Without a system, it can disappear quickly. Managing money does not need to be complicated. You do not need a spreadsheet with hundreds of rows or guilt over every coffee. You only need to know what comes in, what goes out, and what remains. Many people know exactly what they earn, but have no idea what they spend. Money arrives at the start of the month, nearly disappears by the end, and the middle is a blur. Money slips away through impulse buys, ride-hailing, automatic subscriptions, and unplanned outings. Each amount is small, but together they can consume your financial future. Managing money does not make you cheap. It stops low-priority things from taking the budget away from what genuinely matters. You can still buy coffee, but choose it intentionally instead of buying from habit and worrying at the end of the month. Conscious spending means knowing what you are trading away. Unconscious spending reveals the cost only after the money is gone. Separate emergency savings from spending money and save as soon as income arrives. Waiting until the end of the month usually leaves very little. A better order is to set aside something for your future first, then live on what remains. That is a principle, not a rigid formula. When building a system, do not create a perfect plan that bans eating out, shopping, or seeing friends. Extreme plans usually last only a few weeks. Then people get tired, overspend to compensate, and feel like failures. A good system is not the strictest one. It is the one you can maintain. The goal is not to remove every joy. It is to stop borrowing from your future to enjoy today. Using a small part for fun is completely reasonable. Money should also create meaningful experiences. A small reward after months of working and saving can make the journey easier to sustain, but the reward needs a limit. Do not turn one celebration into a month of overspending or use $1,000 to live as if you have $10,000. Lifestyle inflation happens when income rises a little, but spending rises a lot. A small bonus becomes a new payment plan, and new savings create new recurring costs. The result is no financial progress, only a different appearance. Someone earning $1,500 and spending it all may be worse off than someone earning $1,000 and keeping $200. A high income does not automatically create freedom. The gap between income and spending does. Ask what this money helps you avoid, not only what it can buy. What can it help you learn? What choices can it create? How long can it help you stay calm? Once you have a cushion, those questions change how you see money. Only after controlling debt, improving your earning power, and building money habits should you begin studying long-term investing. Investing is not a guessing game. It is not a shortcut to quitting your job or turning a small amount into a fortune in a few weeks. Investing requires spare money, time, knowledge, and discipline. If you do not understand what you are buying, why it rises and falls, or how much loss you can tolerate, the smart decision may be to wait. You will constantly hear stories about people doubling their accounts, making money in days, or discovering a secret formula for wealth. But few people tell the full story about losses, bad guesses, borrowed money, or sleepless nights during a market drop. Winners are simply more visible. Do not let someone else's story make you ignore the basics. You do not need to get rich faster than everyone else. You need a life that is hard to knock down. Used wisely, $1,000 teaches you that money has value even before it is spent. Every unspent dollar is an option that remains open. It can become an emergency repair, tuition for an opportunity, time to rest, the power to say no, or support for your family. Long-term thinkers do not see money only as a shopping tool. They see it as a tool for creating choices. More choices usually mean less fear. Maya is a sales associate who saves $1,000 after more than a year. Her phone is old but still handles her work, so she decides not to replace it yet. She keeps $600 for emergencies, spends $200 on dental care, uses $100 to improve her sales skills, and takes her mother to dinner with the final $100. A year later, Maya is not a millionaire, but she worries less when the car needs repairs, feels healthier, communicates better, and knows she controls her money. That is only an example, not a formula for everyone. Your situation may include debt, living with parents, raising children, caring for family, or health problems. One person may need a work tool while another has no emergency fund. That is why priorities matter. Protect yourself and plug the leaks first. Then improve your earning power, build a system that keeps money, and only afterward focus on long-term growth. Direction matters more than speed. If you have $1,000 now, write that number in the center of a page and divide it into 4 questions. What must I protect, fix, learn, and genuinely enjoy? The first question reveals risk. The second shows what is pulling you backward. The third opens growth, and the last keeps life balanced. Then decide based on your real life, not pressure from friends, advertisements, or whatever is trending online. Do not use money to prove that you have succeeded. You may not need a new phone. You may need an emergency fund or a smaller debt balance. You may need a health checkup, a computer for work, or simply to keep the money while you continue learning. The right decision is different for each person. Personal finance must be personal, but the shared principle is this: do not buy the image of wealth. Build the foundation of stability. An impressive image lasts minutes. A strong foundation protects you for years. New shoes may feel exciting for days and a new phone for weeks. The confidence from having savings, clearing consumer debt, and improving your abilities feels completely different. It does not need applause or approval. That confidence comes from within, from knowing you are moving in the right direction. $1,000 is meaningful, but not enough for complacency. It is a seed. If you keep digging it up or trade it for short-term pleasure, the seed cannot become a tree. Put it in the right place and care for it patiently. Keep adding to it every month. Later, you may realize your life changed not because of one lucky break, but because of hundreds of small decisions. Keep part of your income, skip what you do not need, build skills, pay debt, ignore the crowd, and continue even when progress is hard to see. Lasting wealth rarely comes from one dramatic decision. It is built from many ordinary decisions, and your first $1,000 can be the starting point. So what should you do with $1,000? Do not rush to double it. Build a cushion, control debt, improve your earning power, and create better money habits. You can enjoy a small part, but do not upgrade your lifestyle to impress people. Once the foundation is strong, learn how long-term investing works. $1,000 does not decide whether you will be rich or poor. How you use it matters. Your first meaningful sum is quietly shaping the person you will become. Will you use money to seek approval or to create safety, ability, and choice? This channel chooses the second path. We learn to understand and manage money so it serves people, instead of spending our lives chasing it. If this helped, subscribe to the channel. Keep learning simple, practical, and sustainable principles. Money changes your life only when you use it to become the person you want to be.